This South Korean soldier won a $5.7 billion lottery ticket, but it's not easy to convert the lottery ticket into cash. It started a few days ago. South Korean Sloiter's name is Chunyu, and he is a soldier who is about to retire. He is stationed near the military boundary line in South and North Korea. One day, Chunyu accidentally picked up a lottery ticket. He didn't pay attention to it, but he actually won the prize. He won a first-class prize of $5.7 billion. At that time, Chunyu was laughing all day, but no one expected that Chunyu suddenly flew the lottery ticket with the wind. As a result, the lottery ticket flew into North Korea. I don't know if it was a coincidence or not. A North Korean soldier named Ah Hao happened to pick up this lottery ticket from South Korea. As a North Korean, Ah Hao had never seen a lottery ticket. It was supposed to be a waste paper. I didn't expect the lottery ticket to follow him like a foot, so Ah Hao put the lottery ticket in his own pocket. After returning to the camp, Ah Hao asked his colleagues. His colleagues found that he had won a first-class lottery ticket. The reaction was exactly the same as Chunyu. That night, Chunyu locked the lost lottery ticket according to the wind direction. As a result, the lottery ticket did not grow, but hit Ah Hao in North Korea. What was more unexpected was that Ah Hao took the initiative to ask about the lottery. It turned out that because the lottery ticket was going to South Korea, Ah Hao wanted Chunyu to help him get the money back. As a reward, he would give Chunyu a 10% bonus. Chunyu, of course, wouldn't do it. The two sides had no arguments. They just agreed to meet again on the evening of the next day to negotiate. 3 days later, Chunyu withdrew 15 Korean won. He thought he should return what he had picked up from others, but as a host, he could share it with Ah Hao. Just take it as a reward for Ah Hao's hard work. Ah Hao didn't do it. He didn't want to be hit by his superiors. As soon as he turned around without a choice, Ah Hao and his colleagues had to tell the superiors about the lottery. On the other hand, because of this lottery ticket, Chunyu's recent behavior was abnormal. Because his colleagues suspected that he was mentally ill, he reported it to his superiors. In order to prevent his superiors from sending him to the mental hospital, Chunyu also withdrew the lottery ticket. In order to avoid leaking the information and to get the help of his colleagues and superiors, he promised to share the money with the two of them as soon as he got it. Now, about this lottery ticket, South Korea and North Korea each have 3 informants. One day early in the morning, Chunyu and 3 people shouted at each other through the broadcast station on the military border of South and North Korea. The 3 people of North and South Korea used their bodies to show their symbols. Through analysis, Chunyu found that the other party wanted to meet them in the air raid shelter in the public water supply area, so the 3 of them went to the air raid shelter with their guns. The 3 people of North and South Korea have also been waiting for a long time. In order to have a peaceful negotiation, the two sides first dropped their guns. Then South Korea showed North Korea the lottery ticket. North and South Korea lined up the advantages of both sides with PPT. Both sides insisted on 82%. They wanted the extra part, but they couldn't get it. In the end, North and South Korea took the initiative. At worst, they burned the lottery ticket. It was a dead end. Maybe South and North Korea started to make a sound. It is estimated that North and South Korea's difficult economic situation is about 37 points. North and South Korea are divided. When North and South Korea see each other so generous, it's hard to say anything else. So the two sides signed the agreement and pressed the handprint. But when North and South Korea decided to hand over the lottery ticket to South Korea, Ah Hao had a new idea. If South Korea gets the lottery ticket, it will run away. What if we don't give them the money? As soon as the handprint fell, the colleagues realized that they were fooled. The two sides simply grabbed the lottery ticket directly. They just saw a flash of light. Unexpectedly, a man suddenly came in. It's South Korea's communist officer. Previously, the communist officer helped North Korea solve the problem of pipe smuggling. Therefore, the North Korean side is also very confident. Under the adjustment of the communist officer, the two sides eventually reached a peaceful strategy. But it's not over yet. It's still a problem that Ah Hao worries about. After North Korea handed over the lottery ticket to South Korea, South Korea gave the promised money to North Korea. This process is not something that can be done in a day or two. The communist officer gave another solution. Why don't we do it like in the movie? The two sides send a hostage to the other side's camp. When the transaction is completed, come back. The South Korean side used rock, paper, scissors to decide the hostages. In the end, Chunyu was unlucky, and the hostage on the North Korean side is Ah Hao. In order to hide their identities, the two sides first learned the language of each other's country through a temporary lottery. Then they called each other's military uniforms. After a few days, the people on both sides were familiar with each other. They ate food from each other's country in the air raid shelter and the water supply supply area they drank together and danced together. In the end, they even played a ball on the military boundary line. In the process, Chunyu and Ahao gradually became closer. They all want to use this money to realize their dreams. Chunyu's colleague, Dabing, was assigned to carry out the lottery. In order to avoid this large amount of money being stolen, the superior specially made a pair of underwear with a pocket for Dabing. He hid the lottery in the pocket of the pocket, then let Dabing choose a tool at will and hit his arm. For money, Dabing hurt himself very little. Finally, as a businessman, he successfully took the lottery in the pocket to Seoul. After that, Chunyu and Ahao began to exchange for 7 days. In North Korea, Chunyu was forced to practice breaking stones on his chest. Fortunately, he was a new soldier and was soon assigned to manage the farm. Because there was no technology in the North Korean farm, small chickens and ducks could not lay eggs. Chunyu happens to be an animal breeding specialist. As soon as he came, he reformed the way of managing the farm. For example, respecting the privacy of chickens, ducks, pigs, and sheep, giving them a clean breeding environment, etc. Sure enough, after one night, the chickens and ducks laid more than 100 eggs with such a high efficiency and crazy way of breeding. The superior was astonished. The superior immediately regarded Chunyu as a national genius with 1,000 years of experience. He even planned to recommend Chunyu to the cadres training school in Pyongyang in the future. The country's food and famine problems will depend on him. On the other hand, Ahao, who came to South Korea, was doing well. Although he did not understand the South Korean drinking water machine and a series of high-tech equipment, as a North Korean, he could eat all kinds of food that he had never eaten before. In addition, he was good at cleaning shoes with foam instead of shoe oil. Not to mention that he was really good at it. One time, a soldier accidentally stepped on a mine because the mine was buried by the North Korean. Ahao was easily removed. The result attracted countless applause and even alarmed the superior. The superior soon came to visit this brave soldier in order to hide his identity. Ahao could only lie that he was from Germany. The superior was even more surprised. He immediately asked him what his determination was. Ahao almost collapsed. Fortunately, he usually likes to watch a German film, so he forced himself to copy the German lines in the film and answer the words of the superior. Fortunately, Chunyu's colleague Gigi helped with the translation. He also forced himself to translate the movie lines into the words of his beloved motherland. As a result, the soldiers on the scene were overjoyed and cried. After a wave of unintentional manipulation, Ahao instantly became a model soldier in South Korea. In contrast, Chunyu was already miserable. Although he was also surrounded by applause and flowers, he was forced to take a car to Pyongyang. In the car, Chunyu wanted to fan his own big ears. Fortunately, the car was stopped on the way. The man who stopped the car was a North Korean soldier named Yen Shi. She was from the North Korean military propaganda department. She was the one who shouted at Chunyu every day. Coincidentally, Ahao was Yen Shi's brother. Yen Shi accidentally learned about the lottery of Chunyu and Ahao. In order to help his brother, Yen Shi applied for Chunyu to stay and shoot an animal reproduction video. Chunyu just won one. In fact, at the first sight of Yen Shi, Chunyu fell in love with this beautiful girl at first sight. Soon, Chunyu began to teach Yen Shi how to breastfeed, etc. In this way, the two fell in love with each other. But in the military camp of North Korea, Yen Shi was a strong woman. At this time, the guards were also annoying him for a long time. One day, the guards tried to abuse Yen Shi. In the end, Yen Shi firmly refused and beat him up. The guards noticed the relationship between Yen Shi and Chunyu. In order to take revenge, he began to investigate Chunyu. He found out Chunyu's false identity as soon as he found out. So this guy shot at Chunyu. In a moment of panic, Yen Shi grabbed the gun and shot the guards in order to avoid further panic. Number 2's superior quickly contacted the South. The two agreed to meet in the air raid shelter at night. Both sides were waiting in the air raid shelter. They were waiting for the comrade-in-arms who was on the line. But this comrade-in-arms was a little stupid. According to the superior's direction, the comrade-in-arms took the subway. Because the lottery ticket in the warehouse was too valuable, the comrade-in-arms kept drilling the warehouse all the way. As a result, the passers-by took a picture of this scene. The photo quickly went viral on the internet. The comrade-in-arms was also designated as a pervert soldier by netizens. He finally got off the subway and went to the bank. As a result, the bank manager saw the pervert soldier's photo on the internet. He chased the soldier and drove him out. The superior who was waiting in the military camp was so anxious that he couldn't do it. Ding Wei found that after the soldier left the bank, he was eating and drinking everywhere. He even went to the park to ride a bicycle. The superior called and scolded the soldier. As a a two-timer, the soldier was helpless. At that time, he had been blacklisted by all the banks in South Korea. At that time, the people in the air raid shelter were also in conflict when he found that Chunyu and his sister hadn't come to see him off. He was so angry that he grabbed Chunyu's collar. He wanted to teach the future brother-in-law a lesson. At this time, the soldier who went out to get the money came back with a bag of cash. It turns out that the bank can't get in, but there are many managers squatting at the door of the bank. They guard these explosive goods all day long because the soldier was suspicious. He was caught by a manager. In the other party's persuasion, the soldier finally got out of the pocket and successfully exchanged the cash. Of course, as a reward, the manager naturally received a considerable amount of benefits. Just when everyone was having a good time counting the money, the unrepentant North Korean guard took Chunyu's superior in. The guard is not only greedy, but also greedy. Before he saw a bag of money, he wanted to eat it alone and look at the machine gun in his hand. No one dares to act rashly. The guard got the money and was naturally very happy, but the number of people is not as good as the sky. A wild boar suddenly ran in. All he saw was a row of teeth and a bag of money, and the guard who ran out to chase the wild boar was blown up by the mine. Now the enemy is gone and the money is gone. Everyone was depressed, but who would have thought that the soldier, he even put his hand in the pocket, and he took out several dollars. Not only in the pocket, the soldier's whole body was full of cash, a total of $400,000. Even if it's 50-50, each person on both sides of the North and South can get tens of millions of Korean won. The big guy was happy again when the brother-in-law was about to leave, although it was a long drama, but in a few days, people on both sides have built a deep friendship. Everyone is reluctant to say goodbye. Chunyu and Yen, she also comforted each other. I hope we can all find a good date, because they all know I don't know when I'll see you next time. I don't know if it's an enemy or a friend. Some people say that comedy is a tragedy. That's not true. This film is easy to imitate the classic movie directed by Pyo Chanryol. Common scenic area, it's all South and North Korean topics. The difference is the performance of the comedy. Common scenic area, high-end lens language and exquisite narrative style show the reality of South and North Korea's desperate situation. But this movie is the opposite. Use comedy to make us laugh. The plot looks absurd, but it's real. In recent years, South Korea has made a lot of movies with South and North Korean themes. All the endings of these films are no exception. It's all different. I think all the true creators, they're all brave idealists, but there's no way to show it in front of the powerful national flag. All personal emotions are insignificant. All comedies are also destined to become tragedies. And as ordinary people, we only hope peace will come soon. By then, we can reduce some of the sadness and less of the desire to be alone. The movie is over. Okay, that's it for today. Welcome to like and comment. Subscribe to my channel.